much, everybody who joined for this edition of Shell's 3 Cents and this segment of Author Talk. And tonight I'm super excited because not only do I have an amazing author, I have an amazing friend that we get to chat with. And again, I'm super, did I say super excited? So her name is Concepción Carolina Vásquez, and her new book, My Diamond in the Desert, released today. So I'm super excited. Are you excited?
Oh my God. What can I say? Of course I am. It's fascinating. Thanks a million.
It is. I'm so excited. You know, I always think it's exciting when someone gets to tell their story, right? Because people often don't realize that they are a part of history, right? Just in our day-to-day lives, some archaeologists 900 years from now, they're going to study the average person who thinks, oh, I didn't do anything special, I didn't contribute to history, when in reality you did. You shaped the world. So I always find that interesting and exciting. But tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, the book, I have been trying to write my memoirs since I can remember, since I started my work with the State Department, because I realized how different I was from everything that I was working with and what I was learning. And I said, well, I'm going to start this. And I started back in like 2000. And I would write a little thing here, a little thing there. And then through this time period until now, until 2020, I met you somewhere along the way, and you are so excited about being a writer and everything that you do. And I was following you all over the place here in El Paso, because I was just fascinated by all that you are doing. And you kept saying, you know, in talking to me, you kept saying, hey, Connie, you know, you've got an interesting life. Why don't you write it? And I was writing, but I didn't take it very serious. And then you started having classes, and I started going, and I started writing a little here, a little there. And I just said, well, I do have an interesting life, and why not share it? And then I started meeting some of my friends, and they kept saying, you know, Connie, you really inspired me over this and that or the other. And I said, really, I did? And they said, yes. And then with all my international visitors, some of them said, you know, you're an interesting woman. You know, we'd like to know what you think like. And now with all the problems that the United States was facing, and, you know, all the misinformation that we have about our country and stuff, that inspired me even more, you know, to finish this. And for the past 4 months, I guess, I was going through a very difficult time after my mom died. And, you know, she had been with me all her life. And I was really devastated. I just didn't know what to do with my time. And, you know, one day after being very, very, very sick in my head, you know, that I was just, I don't know, I didn't want to live anymore. And then one day I woke up and I thought, oh my God, you know, God, please forgive me, because you're giving me one more day of life and I'm wasting it. And I thought, this is impossible. This is not what one is supposed to do. And I thought, I have to thank God. So I got up, I took a shower, I you know, got all dressed up, I put on makeup, and I said, I'm going to start a different life. You know, I'm going to start thanking God every day for what I'm doing. And I want to do something about it. And I want to share that I really have had a wonderful life. I don't have anything to complain about. It's just that I don't know what's going to happen from now on. And I was kind of lost, but it doesn't matter. What I realized is whatever God sends your way, He also gives you the strength to continue. And that's what I wrote, you know, and then I shared it with you, and you said, yeah, you know, come on, you know, let's work on this. And we have been working for the last 4 months, I guess. And then last month I finally said, okay, this is it. And then you started looking at it and you said, okay, let's go ahead with it. And yes, it is exciting. It is extremely exciting. I'm flabbergasted. I'm honored. I am, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy that I can share my story.
I'm glad you can share your story too, because listen, and I'm sure you've already figured this out, but no doubt you've already touched countless lives that you don't even know about. But I also know from reading your story, you're going to touch so many lives, and you're going to touch families for generations. Like, your story has that sort of messaging attached, that if people use it as either a lesson for how we do stuff or a cautionary tale for maybe how not to in certain situations, you're going to have a positive impact for multiple generations for many people. And I think that's a great thing, Ms. Connie. That's a really great thing.
You're so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yes, because I don't know. I have a weird story, living in the border. A lot of people don't understand what living in the border is all about.
They don't.
No.
They don't.
And then El Paso is such a wonder. They talk about New York being, all sorts of people. Well, El Paso has all sorts of people, and El Paso has the beginning of the Southwest and the beginning of a lot of the things that we consider American. And and then some people say that bad influence of Mexico. Well, it was a fantastic influence of Mexico that has made us who we are and has helped us in our quest for independence. But a lot of people don't know about it. And then also our beautiful history of the first Thanksgiving of the Southwest, which has really nothing to do with the first Thanksgiving of the United States, which is totally different, but they can mingle together, and that's what makes us the beautiful United States that we are, because we are united states from different parts of the world, and we form this wonderful country that we can get along together. And that's what I learned in my years with the State Department, that, in visiting all these cities all over the country, that every city was unique. Every city had a unique American story, and yet we are part of the whole. And we are just, I don't know, the United States is fascinating to me. I don't see how people, started trashing us for this and that and the other, because even the bad stuff, and then how we make it good. Exactly. But we would never know that it was bad if we don't know that it was bad. So, we have to learn from the past, even the sorry self, the sorry parts of our life. You know that, and it's just a wonderful life. I mean, I'm, like learning your story yourself, and everything you have done with the armed services, and everywhere you have gone, and all the people that you have impacted, and here in El Paso as well. I've met so many people through you, and likewise. You're involved in so many things. Yeah, you're involved in so many things, and I just love it. Your love for history, your love for dance, your love for singing, your love for the theater, your love for writing, your love of being a mother, and all the things you've done as a mother. I mean, it's just like everybody puts a little bit of grain of salt into our little wonderful American family. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It's true. But yeah, I agree with you. I think I am a big lover of history, a studier of history, a student of history. And I think that's why people's personal accountings, their personal histories really fascinates me. And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited that you wrote yours down, because you have such an interesting perspective on things. We often hear about people coming from South America or Mexico or anywhere, Cuba, wherever. They come to America, sometimes legally, sometimes, they don't have all their documents in a row, whatever. But you actually experienced the reverse of that. You went from America to a different country, and you give a lot of insight into that I think can lead to compassion for others who find themselves in similar situations, no matter which country they're in. And I think that is a really great part of your story. That's one of many great parts of your story.
Thank you. Well, I got involved with that back in when I was trying to help in restructuring our immigration into the United States. And I heard about all these young people that came to the United States with their parents, and now they're here and they didn't have papers, and they become American citizens. And I think the same thing happened to me when my mom took me to Mexico. And, I grew up in Mexico. I grew up in my main tongue was Spanish. And I was in school in Mexico, and I took, all the courses in Spanish, and I learned about the history of Mexico and all of that. But at the same time, I was an American citizen. And, many things I couldn't do because I was an American citizen. And many times, I never told people I was an American unless they asked me, because it's none of their business. I thought, well, that's who I am, and I'm here, and, and let's see what happens. But when I came to all the time I was in Mexico, many times if they felt angry because I was an American or uncomfortable, they would call me la gringa. And I just thought, okay, I am. I guess that's what I am. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then the other side of the story is that when I got here to the United States, then I was no longer American. They kept saying, well, you're Mexican. And I said, I'm not Mexican. I've never been Mexican. Why are you calling me a Mexican? So it was to the point that I thought, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just a citizen of this country. It doesn't matter where I was born. And I'm just a citizen. And I don't like to be called, Mexican American or whatever. I'd rather say I'm an American with a Spanish heritage, period.
Exactly.
Or Hispanic heritage. It's just like many people say, you're African American. Well, you were not born in Africa.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. And that's the way you feel as well.
That's how.
And I can sympathize with you with that. When they call me Mexican American, I go, no, I'm not Mexican. Right. I'm an American. I'm an American first. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that we're very proud of being American, but we're also proud of our heritage. Right. And it doesn't matter where it is coming from. We blend and we form this wonderful country by being of different heritage. That's the beauty of the United States. That it's a blending of all these cultures, and not the white-eyed, blue-eyed, blonde person.
Yeah.
So, right? We don't belong there, Michelle. Exactly. You're black and I'm brown, but we're
Absolutely. And I love the way that you talk about all this in the book, because it's true. And part of what makes us American is being from all these different places and having all these different cultures and coming together as one. That is what makes us American. So I love that messaging throughout the book. I absolutely adore that. And you talk about your time at the State Department in the book. What did you do for the State Department?
Well, I was traveling with international visitors that were invited by the United States government, because they were people that were emerging in their countries in different areas. Whether they were in politics or in education or in the business world, or they were part of ethnic communities. So they got invited here, and they were being taught how we treat people from other countries and what the United States is all about. So my job was to show them the United States, the good and the bad. I always try to show them the good, but I also highlighted things that we didn't like, that we were working on, that we were changing. And that was wonderful. Back then, it was absolutely beautiful to see both sides and see how we were blending. It's like when you get, you get acquainted with a different way of eating, and then we make it our own. We Americans tend to make it our own, like when tacos came here to the United States, here in Texas, Tex-Mex food is very different from Mexican food because we blend it. It's different. And to me, like, no, that's not Mexican food. That's Tex-Mex. It's different.
Yes, it is.
But it's part of it. Like traveling with people from Africa, and then we would eat soul food, and it had the smell and the feel, but it was different. It wasn't African. It was American soul food.
And it is different. Yeah, it is different.
And it's like New Orleans, the same thing. It's French food, but French with a different, Creole food. It's different. It's one in the United States. It's like that. It's all over the country. We have such a variety and such a beautiful country that I just want people to know that, and I always try to tell my visitors all about the beauty of the United States and the difference. And instead of, in the past years, people like, I don't know, they want to put us in little box, and we don't fit in little boxes. You and I don't fit in little boxes.
I certainly don't fit in any little boxes. I definitely do not fit in a box, and I refuse to be put in a box, and so do you. I think that's why we're such good friends. Yeah, I love that. Well, listen, everybody, the book is on sale today. Barnes & Noble, Amazon, wherever you like to buy books, you can get your copy. So right now the paperback is out, but coming soon there will be a hardcover and an ebook. But trust me, you want to get your copy today. You absolutely want to get your copy today. Don't go to bed until you get your copy. So, all right, Ms. Connie, we're going to end it here, but I'm so excited for you. I'm super, super excited, and congratulations. You're going to do well with this book. I know you are. This is a beautiful story.
Thank you, Michelle. And I love you, Pretty. Thank you very much.
We love you too. Yeah, we love you too. So you take care, and I will talk to you after this interview. But we're going to cut it here, and everybody have a great night.